All right, I'll say, how are you all this evening of your time as you create time to exist? Are you all alive? Thank you very much. We begin this interaction this evening of your time with the following entitlement, if you wish, present time. There have been, in your experience, many ideas. It is no accident that you are present for and within this interaction. Whether that presence be physically present, whether it be astrally present, whether it be simply experiencing the idea of this interaction in your tape format, your video format, it is no accident that you are now participating in this interaction at this timing. Your very presence, your very awareness is in and of itself all the prerequisites that you will need to understand the idea on some level that we will communicate to you this evening of your time. Very often, members of your society have inquired from members of our society the idea that we do exist within the next dimensional realm. You are, as we have said, third density, or as you sometimes say within your vernacular, third dimension. We are fourth density, or fourth dimension, as you say. Many of you have inquired from us what it is that does distinguish the idea of being within third density and which allows you to transform into fourth. Very much the idea we will impart to you this evening of your time is the key. That if you do turn, it is always your choice. Nothing will be forced upon you ever from our stream. Will unlock your present reality and allow you to change drastically in, as you say, the twinkling of an eye. For it is that simple. And simply your conscious awareness being brought to particular ideas allows you, as you say, to transform. Therefore, the notion we shall share with you this evening of your time may be new to some of you, may not be new to others. However, even if you have, in a sense, heard this idea before, it will be, in a very sense, the first time. When we impart it, do not place expectations as to what you must get out of such an idea. For, however, and whatever your imagination does do, however it changes it, however it alters it, is your particular personalized method for integrating it. And again, it is not as though, at first, if you feel, well, I conceptually understand what you are saying, I intellectually understand what you are saying, but you do not feel that you emotionally feel it, do not worry. For everything occurs in and within its own timing. We have said many times, one of the key explorations within this type of existence you have chosen to explore is the idea of timing. An illusion, except while you are creating it, seems very real. Therefore, again, do not place expectations upon yourself that you have not gotten it. You have. Otherwise, you would not be present in this interaction this evening of your timing. We have shared with you the idea, as have many individuals within and without your society, that the only experiential time that you do ever have, ever create, ever exist within is present time. always now. Now is the only experiential time that you exist within always. The paradox being that it is always now. Creation is at the same time already existing and at the same time being created anew. This idea of paradox, seeming things which cannot be mentally reconciled, is a symptom of fourth density. The recognition of paradox. The recognition that it is not this or that. It is this and that. Which do you prefer? The idea we shall share with you is as real as its converse, is as real as its adverse. It is just as real and valid a reality as the reality you have chosen to explore, which you may consider up till now has been the opposite of this idea, though not really. Therefore, realizing that all ideas have validity, all ideas are real, and again, it is not this or that, but both, and you get to pick. We shall then present to you this idea, which will allow you to unlock from what you have considered the, quote, trappings of your reality. There are many experiences that occur within your society that give an individual the idea that they are within a trapping cycle of existence, whereby things are repetitive, whereby it is not that things are always created anew. That is a valid viewpoint. You have experienced it, so you know it has substance, it has reality. But just as real as that idea is the idea that in any given moment, you are creating anew your entire reality. The idea of timing that you are experiencing has an apparency of continuity. One moment leading to the next, and the next moment leading to the next. That is the nature of the illusion, as you have heard timing called. The illusion of continuity. The illusion of being a continuum. In another perspective, just as valid, it may be stated that your reality is recreated each and every now moment, a distinct recreation, a distinct new reality. When you do buy into the continuum theory, you do in a sense bind yourself up to the effects of that continuum theory. When you proceed in action with the idea of time being continuous, then you are bound by your perception of that continuity. The notion we shall share with you may to some be what you label a revelation, for it will rewire, in a very real sense, your brain. This, again, will never be done against your will. When we shall utter the phrase, you shall absorb it at your own rate, and only with your own allowance. Therefore, the idea again, your scientists have begun to understand that each thought that you have literally creates new pathways in your brain. I am not saying that pathways which are there are being used and different pathways which are there are then being used from thought to thought. I am saying that pathways are created where there were none before. that pathways that did exist are no longer there. This is more the reality of the nature of your use, physical use of your brain. This is one of the reasons that your scientists have surmised that you only use a small portion of your brain. No. From our perspective, you always use 100% of your brain, even if you use 90 to make it seem as if you are only using 10. You are always using 100%. The idea again being that with your present technology, much of this idea is unmeasurable. However, when a brain is simultaneously, suddenly, totally realigned in the moment, you refer to this phenomena as revelation. And you do, in a very real sense, emerge from this idea a new person, a completely new person. You may create the illusion of continuity if you wish. You may, because you are not ready to be 100% a new person, choose to use that continuity to ground yourself, to allow yourself to maintain individuality, so to speak. However, it is anew. And although you are creating the new you with the thoughts that it is connected to the old you, it is only your belief that it is connected that connects it. So therefore, it is connected if you believe it is. If you do not, it is not connected. Therefore, again, we shall plant this evening of your time a seed, a crystalline seed. You will provide in your own imagination, in your own experience, the soil, the fertilizer, the water, the light. Then, again, according to your own particular timing, the seed will burst forth a blossom that will not be the reality you have known. The reality you can create will be, if you choose, according to your conscious preference. You no longer need to experience anything in your reality you do not prefer, unless you believe that you must. Then you must. But only when that is the underlying belief. Therefore, again, relax. Allow this to be delivered to you in whatever way you will accept it. Realize that whenever you are involved in any interaction, that your imagination, putting in its feedback, adding little things within your mind, within your consciousness, is not an interruption. It is part of your learning, part of your growth, and your acceptance and willingness to validate what you get is what allows it to fulminate most quickly, as you say, and seem to desire. Quick transformation toward that which you do prefer. Therefore, we shall continue with this idea. Allow yourself to relax. Close your eyes if you wish. Take a deep, loving breath, followed by 2 more deep and loving breaths, allowing yourself to relax. When you do, feel yourself at the center of your being. Simply again, allow what we are about to utter to dance within your consciousness, to play with your imagination. If there are afterwards, as you say, any questions about this idea, please ask. We wish that you are clarified. For this simple, singular notion is the key, as we have said, to unlock your present reality and allow you to walk in a very real sense into fourth density. Now, therefore, as you do, allow yourself to relax. As you do, again, sink into the center of your being. As you do, create within your imagination the idea of your place of perfect peace. We shall now simply utter this idea. Your present is not a result of your past. Your present is not a result of your past. Your present is not a result of your past. Your present is not a result of your past. Now, allowing this idea to swim within the sea of your imagination. Allow yourself to reacclimate to your surroundings. Allow yourself to absorb at whatever rate you will this idea. As you do, find yourself drifting back. You may then again open your eyes and allow your surroundings to fill you back up. But realize you are not the same person you were when you closed your eyes. Simply only as you will continue to create it to be that way, but very literally not the same person. And by the way, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Now, before we do proceed with the sharing, we have one brief message. One moment. All right, I'll say to you this evening of your time greetings. My nomenclature that I have within your society, claimed as my own, although we have no names per se, is Anima. We have chosen that particular vibration as our label. For it very literally within your society does mean a female aspect as expressed by a male. Therefore, I am also a discrete being upon the same planet, if you will, as Bashar. We are contemporary beings within the same society. And I simply have joined you this evening to allow you to share in this idea. You have heard very, very many times within your reality the idea of blending the masculine and feminine sides of your personality. For each individual does, even though you have expressed yourself physically as a particular polarity, a particular gender, each does contain both. Your higher self, your oversoul is both. In a sense, the dichotomy is simply the exploration of polarity. But you may realize and recognize this in a practical way by simply considering that. And we will simplify this greatly. And in your, quote, future may elaborate upon this, but for now, the idea that your female energy side, per se, can be expressed by the idea of receptivity, by the idea of willingness to interact with your environment in such a way to receive and allow the inflow of information, and allow yourself not only to listen to information, but to hear it also. For we see that there is a distinction with this idea. Then the idea of your male aspect or personality or construct of your overall being may be expressed again simply as your aggressiveness, your willingness to act. Therefore, the brief message we wish to share with you this evening of your time is as follows. Our stream in communicating with your society has desired to point out to you that options available to you are to use your excitement, what excites you, what floats your boat, as the criteria for how to proceed in your life. Realizing that along with proceeding in that manner, you get three things. A, you get what is most you. You're excited about it. It must be a reflection of who you are, deep down inside. B, it is most effortless. Needless to say, if you are enjoying yourself, does not take a lot of effort. And C, and this may interest many of you from our perceptions of your society, the thing that excites you brings along with it any and all of the abundance that you would need to do that particular thing. Therefore, it is a self-supporting structure. It is a non-failing way to proceed being the best you can be. And at the same time, put out, serve, and live your life. Therefore, we shall bring these two ideas together and blend and balance them in saying this. When functioning within your excitement, it is a prime opportunity for you to blend your female and male aspects. For you do use your female aspect to detect, to receive your excitement. Step one would always be to determine what does excite you. Many of you do get hung up at that step. But the idea being that by exercising your willingness to allow yourself to explore the idea and receive what it is that does excite you, you are exercising your female energy. Then, now that you know what it is that excites you, you may then blend it with your male energy. For when something does excite you, generally, you don't just sit around and do nothing. The male energy, so to speak, is what allows you to then act upon what it is that excites you. So, by simply realizing what it is that excites you and then acting upon it, you are blending these energies in a most effective way. Many of the ideas of integration that you seek, for you feel you are scattered beings, some of you, will automatically take place when following your excitement, for you are combining and blending those two energies. Therefore, we do say to you to go in love and light and do what does excite you. In the idea of future interactions, we shall again speak to you. Thank you very much for your time. All right, I'll say, shedding.